Hi everyone, I am Johanna Kamid. We will talk about the periodic table together with my group, and I'll be the first reporter, and please keep on watching. The objective is to identify the general features of the modern periodic table of elements. And then the second, materials. Materials we've used is a periodic table of elements and reference in chemistry. So, what is periodic table? Periodic table is a tabular display of the chemical elements. It is widely used in chemistry, physics, and other sciences, and it's generally seen as an icon of chemistry. So there are discussions. So first discussion, the periodic table has 7 horizontal rows or periods. And then the first period consists of hydrogen and helium. And third, the second period begins with lithium and ends with neon. So the question is, how many elements are there in this period? So the answer is there are 8 elements in the second period. The fourth discussion. The third period begins with sodium and ends with argon. And the question is, how many elements are there in this period? So the answer is there are also 8 elements in this period. So number 5 discussion. The periodic table has the following vertical columns called families or groups. The 8A groups and the 8B groups. And then 6 discussion. The group B elements differ from the rest because they are heavy metals. 7 discussion. Elements with atomic numbers 57 to 71 forms the lanthanide series or rare earth elements, while those with atomic numbers 89 to 98 forms the actinide series or radioactive elements. So the question is, what is meant by rare earth elements? The answer is the rare earth elements are a set of 17 metallic elements. These include the 15 lanthanides on the periodic table plus scandium and yttrium. Letter D question. What is meant by radioactive elements? The answer is radioactive elements are unstable isotopes that releases subatomic particles or energy as they decay.
Number 8. The 8 groups are further divided into 3 subgroups. So the question is, how do 1A and 2A differ from the other group A elements? The answer is 1A and 2A differ from the other group A elements because they are so to be called metals. 1A is the alkaline metals and 2A is the alkaline earth metals. The next question is, why is hydrogen separated from the rest of 1A? The answer is, it is separated because hydrogen is a non-metal while all the other elements in group A are metal, specifically alkali metals. Next question is, how do 3A differ from the other group A elements? The answer is, boron group elements, any of these 6 chemical elements constituting group 13 or 3A of the periodic table. The elements are boron with the symbol of B, aluminum with the symbol of Al, gallium with the symbol of Ga, indium with the symbol of In, thallium with the symbol of Pl, and nihonium with the symbol of NH. And periodic table, group 7A fluorine with the symbol of F, chlorine with the symbol of Cl, bromine with the symbol of Br, iodine with the symbol of I, and astatine with the symbol of At. These 5 elements are known as hydrogen. These are denoted by X. So number 9 is the 8A elements. Last column to the right are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. They are inert gases mentioned in your books. So the question is, what is meant by inert gas? So the answer is, an inert gas is a gas that does not undergo chemical reaction under a set of given conditions. The noble gases often do not react with many substances and were historically referred to as the inert gases. Inert gases are used generally to avoid unwanted chemical reaction degrading as simple. Number 1. Select one inert gas. Refer to chemistry books to the following information. What are its general characteristics? Argon is the most common gas in the atmosphere beside nitrogen and oxygen. Argon is a noble gas like helium, which means that it is completely inert. It is odorless, colorless gas that is totally inert into other substance. So the next question is, where is found in nature? Argon is the most abundant noble gas in Earth's crust, compressing 0.15% of the crust. Nearly all of the argon in the Earth's atmosphere is radiogenic argon-40 derived from the decay of potassium-40 in the Earth's crust. The number 10 is the elements on the left portion of the chart are metals. Give 5 common characteristics of metals. Number 1, they are good conductors of the heat and electricity. Number 2, they are shiny. Number 3, they are solids except mercury and bromine, which are liquid at room temperature. Number 4, they usually have high melting and boiling points. Number 5, they can be drawn into water or beaten into foil and placed aluminum. Number 11 is the element on the right portion of the chart are non-metallic. So give 3 common characteristics of non-metals. A. Non-metal can be gas, liquid, or solid. B. They are orange shiny. C. They don't conduct heat or electricity well. Number 12 is the elements which border the zigzag line behave like metals or non-metals under different conditions. They are called metalloids or amphoteric elements.
So the first element I will be discussing is the lithium. Lithium is a chemical element with atomic number 3, represented by the chemical symbol Li. Lithium has a melting point of 180.54 Celsius, a boiling point of 1342 Celsius, a specific gravity of 0.534, and a valence of 1. It is the lightest of the metals, with a density approximately half that of water, and the atomic mass of lithium is 6.941. Beryllium. Beryllium is a chemical element with atomic number 4, represented by the chemical symbol Be. It is a toxic, bivalent element having a steel gray appearance. It is a lightweight metal having very high melting point and good thermal conductivity. The atomic mass of beryllium is 9.12. Next is the boron. Boron is a chemical element with atomic number 5, represented by the chemical symbol B. The melting point of boron is 2079 Celsius. Its boiling or sublimation point is at 2550 Celsius. The specific gravity of crystalline boron is 2.34. The specific gravity of the amorphous form is 2.37, and its valence is 3. Boron has interesting optical properties, and the atomic mass of boron is 10.811. The next is the carbon. Carbon is a chemical element with atomic number 6, represented by the chemical symbol C. As we all know that carbon in all forms needs oxygen, heat, and light, and forms carbon dioxide. When it is burned in air to give carbon dioxide, it is called combustion. And the atomic mass of carbon is 12.01. Nitrogen. Nitrogen is a chemical element with atomic number 7, represented by the chemical symbol N. Nitrogen is a colorless, odorless, tasteless, diatomic, and generally inert gas at standard temperature and pressure. At atmospheric pressure, nitrogen is liquid between 63 Kelvin and 77 Kelvin, and the atomic mass of nitrogen is 14.01. Oxygen. Oxygen is a chemical element with atomic number 8, represented by the chemical symbol O. Oxygen is a member of the chalcogen group on the periodic table and is a highly reactive nonmetallic element. Oxygen is a strong oxidizing agent and has the second highest electronegativity of all reactive elements, second only to fluorine, and the atomic mass of oxygen is 15.99 or 16. Fluorine. Fluorine is a chemical element with atomic number 9, represented by the chemical symbol F. Fluorine is the most reactive and the most electronegative of all the elements. Fluorine is a pale yellow, diatomic, highly corrosive, flammable gas with a pungent odor. It is the lightest halogen, and the atomic mass of fluorine is 18.99 or 19.99. The next is the neon. Neon is a chemical element with a chemical symbol Ne and atomic number 10. It is a noble gas that is colorless, odorless, inert, and monatomic. It is the fifth most abundant chemical element in the universe by mass but a rare element on Earth. And the atomic mass of neon is 20.18. The next is the sodium. Sodium is a chemical element with a symbol Na from Latin words means natrium and the atomic number 11. It is a soft, silvery white, highly reactive metal. Sodium is an alkali metal being in group 1 of the periodic table and the atomic mass of sodium is 22.99. Last is the magnesium. Magnesium is an element with a specific atomic number 12 and symbol Mg. On the other hand, magnesium oxide is a compound derived when magnesium combines with oxygen. It has its own chemical formula, which is formed due to an ionic bond. However, this bond can be broken by chemical decomposition and the atomic mass of magnesium is 24.31.
Aluminum is a chemical element with a symbol Al and atomic number 13. Aluminum has a density lower than those of other common metals, at approximately one-third that of steel. It has a great affinity towards oxygen and forms a protective layer of oxide on the surface when exposed to air. So the next is silicon. Silicon is a chemical element with the symbol Si and atomic number 14. It is a hard, brittle crystalline solid with a blue-gray metallic luster and is a tetravalent metalloid and semiconductor. It is a member of group 14 in the periodic table. Carbon is above it and germanium, tin, lead, and flerovium are below it. And the next is phosphorus. Phosphorus is a chemical element with the symbol P and atomic number 15. Element phosphorus exists in two major forms, white phosphorus and red phosphorus. But because it is highly reactive, phosphorus is never found as a free element on Earth. And the next is sulfur. Sulfur is a chemical element with the symbol S and atomic number 16. It is abundant, multivalent, and non-metallic. Under normal conditions, sulfur atoms form cyclic octatomic molecules with a chemical formula S8. The next is chlorine. Chlorine is a chemical element with the symbol Cl and atomic number 17, the second lightest of the halogens. It appears between fluorine and bromine in the periodic table, and its properties are mostly intermediate between them. Chlorine is a yellow-green gas at room temperature. And the next is argon. Argon is a chemical element with the symbol Ar and atomic number 18. It is a It is in a group 18 of the periodic table and it is noble gas. Argon is the third most abundant gas in Earth atmosphere at 0.934%. And the next is potassium. Potassium is a chemical element with the symbol K from Neo-Latin kalium and atomic number 19. Potassium is a silver white metal that is soft enough to be cut with a knife with little force. K are found in all potassium and it is the most common radioisotope in the human body. And the last is the chemical element calcium with the symbol of Ca, atomic number 20. Is the fifth element and the third most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. The metal is trimorphic, harder than sodium, but softer than aluminum. It is less chemical reactive than alkaline metals and than the other alkaline earth metals.
In conclusion, the periodic table is important because it is organized to provide a great deal of information about elements and how they are related to one another in one easy-to-use reference.